Hey there, I'm Raquel Richards, and this is What Are You Drinking? The pod on alcohol. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please drink responsibly. I'm going to do a little something different on this episode. I'm going to talk about the top 10 RTDs so far from 2022 to the present. What are RTDs? That acronym stands for Ready to Drink. These include coolers, premixed Ceasars, or margarita drinks, for example. And, of course, they contain alcohol. RTDs are an alcohol category in the alcohol industry, and from 2022 to the present, this category has set records worldwide. It's an extremely popular category because drinkers want pre-mixed cocktails rather than buying the ingredients and making the cocktail at home on their own. Now, personally, I prefer buying the ingredients and mixing my own cocktails. And the reason for this is I prefer to have my drinks mixed with as many natural ingredients as possible. However, I do drink one of these RTDs on this list. You'll have to wait until I announce it to find out what that RTD is. I'll give you a hint. It's clear. According to the IWSR, which stands for International Wine and Spirit Research, they revealed in their drinks market analysis, which focused on 10 markets, including China, the US, Australia, and the UK, they predicted the RTD category would grow by 24% in volume over the next 5 years, led by spirits-based cocktails and long drinks. The IWSR predicts that non-alcoholic RTDs in the US will grow by 18% in volume between 2022 and 2026. So I know, since I mentioned that long drinks, you're like, well, what is a long drink? So what is a long drink? A long drink is a mix of gin and most commonly grapefruit soda. You know, I love that grapefruit. So the list I'm going to talk about is based on case sales. So let's get to it, shall we? Here are the top 10 best-selling RTDs, ready to drink cocktails of 2022, listed in order of their 9-liter case sales. So starting at number 10, 1800 Ultimate Margs. This is the popular 1800 tequila by Proximo Spirits. The 1800 Ultimate Margs is a pre-mixed margarita cocktail with flavors such as strawberry, passion fruit, mango, blood orange, and black cherry. Number 9, Campari soda. Yep, this is the Italian Campari liqueur aperitif mixed with soda. So it's basically no longer an aperitif, but a cocktail at 10% ABV. What does ABV mean? What does it stand for? Alcohol by volume. Number 8, Jose Cuervo Authentic Margs. The Authentic Cuervo Margarita lineup is made exclusively with Jose Cuervo tequila and has an ABV of 9.95%. During 2022, this brand saw an 11.2% drop in sales, which may be a result of home bartending during the pandemic. Everybody was like, hey, I'm going to make my own drinks. The Jose Cuervo flavors include classic lime, strawberry lime, mango, grapefruit tangerine, raspberry, pink lemonade, coconut pineapple, watermelon, red sangria, orange pineapple, and cherry limeade. And the brand has even created a lineup of no guilt margaritas, which is low in alcohol. I recall during my time at the LCBO, which is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, which is in Ontario, Canada, when Jose Cuervo Authentic Margs was first released. There weren't this many flavors at all. There was only the original margarita mix, and it was delicious. Okay, so I'm going to go into a bit of a side note here. This premix is memorable to me, the original margarita, the original Jose Cuervo margarita is memorable to me because when I went to my grandmother's funeral, I came back home and I broke up with my boyfriend. And one of the first things he said to me after I left and packed up my stuff and I was at home and he called me, he said, "You took the margarita mix." I said, "Yes." And I hung up on him. Let's just say he wasn't the man I wanted to be with anymore. And I thank my nanny, I called her nanny rather than grandma, for what I believe was her spiritual telling me to take out the trash. Okay, so I digress. Number 7, Jack Daniel's Country Cocktails have continued to grow over the past 15 to 20 years. The RTDs are owned by Brown-Forman and include 8 flavors: Blackjack Cola, Cherry Limeade, Berry Punch, Down Home Punch, Lynchburg Lemonade, Watermelon Punch, Southern Peach, and Southern Citrus. Okay, so I'm going to go into another side note. I first had the JD Blackjack Cola during Toronto Pride. I was prepping at my sponsor's store. Yeah, I used to host several stages at Toronto Pride for about 8 years. I was with my assistant at the time, and we were parked behind my sponsor's store. After I was sorted with my costumes and ready to host one of my assigned stages, my assistant asked me if I wanted to pause and have a drink. I said yes. She pulled out a JD Blackjack Cola. I wasn't too fond of the flavor because I'm not really a Coke and Jack whiskey kind of fan at all, but I drank it and it wasn't bad. I think I would have preferred the Lynchburg Lemonade because I love lemonade, but it was okay and it did its job. So number 6, the Jimador Tequila New Mix. Canadians may pronounce it as El Jimador. You might know that better, but it's the Jimador. It also is made by Brown-Forman, and their popular Paloma mix was first launched in Mexico more than 20 years ago. Number 5, Horeyo, aka also known as Tipsy. This RTD is available in Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Korea, Singapore, and the Philippines, and is owned by Suntory Spirits. Horeyo, or Tipsy in English, is a popular canned Chew-High premix with an alcohol content of only 3% ABV, and it comes in flavors of peach, lemon, and grape. Number 4, Jack Daniel's RTDs. Now these exclude the JD Country Cocktails that I mentioned before. Take the Brown-Forman's Jack Daniel's Country Cocktails brand out of the mix because since the Country Cocktails JD has partnered with Coca-Cola and its collective JD Premix portfolio still surpasses the 1 million case mark by quite some time. In 2022, this part of the brand stable grew by 4.6% to hit 11.3 cases, thanks in part to its growth of its classic JD and Cola mix, which is well known and loved by the world, I guess except me. But this, of course, is the one that includes the Coca-Cola mix. Other Jack Daniel's pre-mixed variants include Jack Daniel's Honey and Lemonade and Jack Daniel's Apple Fizz. Number 3, High Noon. Quenching the growing thirst for spirits based on the go drinks, E&J Gallo owned High Noon earned the title of RTD brand champion in 2023. You may know of E&J Gallo for its wine. For me, it's their Zinfandel. High Noon vodka sodas flavored with fruit juice saw sales catapult by its astonishing 95% last year, from almost 9 million cases in 2021 to 17 million cases in 2022. Number 2, minus 196 degrees Celsius strong zero. Owned by Suntory Spirits, minus 196 degrees Celsius strong zero is largely consumed in Japan, consisting of a selection of highball-style drinks. The name derives from the production technique, whereby its fruits are frozen at minus 109 degrees Celsius and crushed into powder, which is used to make the liquid. Currently, you can't buy minus 196 degrees Celsius strong zero in Canada or the States, but you can buy it on the 196 degrees strong zero website. Look it up. But you'll have to pay by Bitcoin or by Western Union. So let's circle back to the top of the show when I mentioned I drink one of the top RTDs on this list. I gave you a hint that it's clear, and here's more. It's available in the States and Canada. You don't have to buy it by Bitcoin. Comes in a white can, available in a variety of flavors, with mango being my favorite. Do you know? It claws for your attention. If you guessed White Claw, you're right. White Claw is part of the Mark Anthony brands, a brand that lost its impressive momentum in 2022, yet it kicked off the hard seltzer revolution in the US and launched in 2016. Mark Anthony brand's White Claw saw substantial volume growth each year through 2021 when it earned the title of RTD brand champion. However, in 2022, the brand posted a dip in sales for the first time, falling by 4.2% to 59 million cases. And yet, its enormous sales are still more than double those of the second biggest selling RTD brand. Minus 196 degrees Celsius, strong zero. I don't know if it has to do with the Bitcoin and Western Union stuff. So it'll probably be a while before it has any need to panic. And that's what I have to say about the best RTDs of 2022. Check out What Are You Drinking on Facebook at What Are You Drinking. The R is the letter R. What Are You Drinking? I'm Raquel Richards. Thanks for sipping with me. Until next time, cheers.